What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Scoob B with Heavy or Heavy with Scoob B. We got to get the title down pat, but one thing that is definitely down pat is my main man, Jalen Mills of the Philadelphia
Ah,
Eagles. What's going on?
was good, man. It was good. Thanks for having me.
Of course, man, working hard, and it seems that you're doing that these days.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Grinding each and every day. We in camp right now. Get ready for the season to start.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're doing your thing, and it's a lot going on right now. We're talking about NBA. We're talking about football. As Allen Iverson would say, we're talking about practice.
right.
I'm curious.
Yep.
Are you surprised that with all the training camps, some and even in different sports, baseball, basketball, not playing games or what at large, were you surprised that the Eagles actually had practice today?
I wouldn't say I was surprised, because we did have a open mic conversation yesterday. And the head coach, Coach Doug Peterson, kind of opened the floor up to guys. First off, he kind of explained, his background a little bit more for guys who didn't know, about, him only knowing equality, actually not having true, black friends until he did get to college. And he never seen race, he never seen color as anything different. He just knew, a good person from a bad person. That was it. And then kind of opened up the mic to, a few guys on the team. Well, really everybody on the team. Anybody could have talked.
Mhm.
If anybody wanted to express themselves to the team, and then also on top of that as well, us as a whole trying to figure out what it is exactly, that one symbolic thing for us as the Eagles to decide, for us to show the world that the Philadelphia Eagles are all about equality. We're not there yet. We do have a social justice meeting tomorrow, with a couple of the core guys on the team, and I'm pretty sure once we figure that out, then we'll move forward from there.
What are your true feelings about racial issues and shootings in America?
I mean, as far as racism goes, we have to know that it starts with the young generation.
Mhm.
Nobody's born racist. You know what I mean? That's something that's taught. And at the end of the day, like I said, it starts with the youth. So for one, I feel like the change, if we want it to happen, it's gonna start with this next generation of kids now. You know what I mean? These kids that are in pre-K, first grade, second grade, third grade, and teaching them, that there is no such thing as color. There is, there are different races, but like I said, you have to know a good person from a bad person, and that's it, right? So I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with it right now.
What were your shootings, or excuse me, what were your thoughts on the shooting of Jacob Blake specifically? Do you, as the Eagles, have a protest plan? And I guess that's my first question. What are your feelings about Jacob Blake?
It definitely was. I felt, anger, sadness. You think about um, his kids, his family, even them having to witness that or even see the video, and then you go to the point of fact that you think about when is enough,
Right.
right? Because we just seemed like we just went through this a couple months ago, and you had the whole world protesting. You know what I mean? And we're right back. Kind of seems like we're right back at square one. And it's just like, where's the solution? When will we find a solution? If will there ever be a solution? And it's kind of just up in the air right now.
Have you and your Eagles teammates talked about a protest, or you look at the 76ers and they were in the street protesting with people? The Eagles thinking about anything similar at this point?
Yeah, I think as far as we haven't got as far as protests yet. We do have, like I said, we have a social injustice meeting Friday with a couple of the core guys on the team,
Mhm.
and trying to find something symbolic, whether it's um, wearing a decal on the helmet, wearing a patch on our jerseys, maybe having something, in the crowd, in the stands. We might not have fans, but the camera may be able to see it while we're in games. Maybe putting something on the field. We're trying to get all of our thoughts together to make sure that everybody knows that the Eagles are standing behind equality for sure.
Tell me something. You look like you watch basketball.
I watch it. I watch it.
Who have you been paying attention to?
I've been paying attention to. I got three key guys I've been paying attention to.
Okay.
Right, Luca. You got Giannis and Tatum. I like Tatum out of Boston.
What do you like about Tatum?
I feel like with him, he's a all around player. He's a guy. He can shoot the three if you give it to him. He can score. He can get to the rack. And he also has a mid range game. He plays defense pretty good. I think he has an all around game that people look past for sure.
Giannis got the Defensive Player of the Year.
So,
Is he the MVP over LeBron?
right now, um,
Yeah, and I guess that's the question because right now versus when reporters voted is the question.
I would say so. Just for the simple fact that when you look and see the type of guys that the Lakers have on their team compared to the Milwaukee Bucks, like you, when the season started, you had LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and the big talk was we might have two of the league MVPs on the same team.
Jalen, I was tight. I heard what you said, but I was tight because I felt that Anthony Davis should have been Defensive Player of the Year, not Giannis.
Think so?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's up in the air. It's up in the air. It's whoever you choose. It's who the voters like. You know what I mean? It's up in the air.
What do you make of the Sixers season this year?
Yeah. Definitely. Disappointing for sure. You have to go off of we're going against Boston. I've been in Philadelphia going on 5 years now. Boston is kind of seems like the kryptonite. We went and got Al Horford, and then going into this game, uh, Ben Simmons is hurt now. So that's really who you kind of run your offense through outside of Embiid. So you don't have another dominant scorer who can give you 20, maybe 30 points if he has to. So I think the words that I can say describing that was definitely a little bit disappointing.
Two-part question about basketball. We're going to switch back to football.
Okay.
One, if you're the general manager of the 76ers,
Right.
who's the next coach of the Sixers? And two, do
Right.
you keep or separate Embiid and Simmons?
Okay. When we're going into coaches, are you giving me a list or is this just me off the top of my head?
You're Elton Brand. Who do you pick?
um, I go with Pop.
Really?
I go with Pop. I feel like he's a guy who you think about the Spurs now. You had Tim Duncan. You had they had a couple guys over there, but he was a guy who knows how to facilitate the floor. He knows how to put the right five guys on the floor at the right time, and then his bench players are gonna come in, and there's not gonna be too much of a drop off. You know what I'm saying? And the
Sure.
athletes that he had, uh, they weren't these top five, top two, top three guys in the league. He just had great players who were able to do what they did best, and he got guys to the spot. So I think I will go with Pop, and then as far as keeping and splitting up Ben and Embiid, I say you keep them. But what you also do is a guy that I would say the Sixers should probably pursue would be a true scorer like a Devin Booker or somebody like that who can now you have a threat of a guy who can shoot the three. Ben's not going to shoot the three, so you got a guy who can shoot the three. You got a guy who's going to get to the rack, and then you just got a dominant force of Embiid who can do both.
New Yorkers are not going to like you because you said
I know.
luckily you were Philly.
Yeah, I know it. I know it.
I learned that whole dynamic. I'm from there, but I went to Eastern University, which is down the road from Villanova on the main line.
Okay, I got you.
So I learned how Philly was, and yeah, they think it's Greg Popovich in Brooklyn, but you
Yeah,
say Philly.
yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Nas made a song called "If I Ruled the World."
Yep,
If you ruled the world for a day,
a day.
how could you implement a bubble in the NFL?
If I ruled the world for it, as far as like how the NBA did it,
Yeah, because y'all got more guys.
we have a lot of guys. I would say the bubble would be me ruling the world. Anything goes, correct?
Yeah.
Anything goes. Okay. I would say you. I would kind of go the same route that the NBA went as far as the bubble aspect, but um, having guys um, being able to bring their families along. Of course, each family would have to be isolated and um, daily testing, of course. But I think that's the biggest thing is, your family, outside of your teammates and wanting to win, your family, they give you clarity. They give you a clear mind, a sense of, um, ca- passion. You people that you always hear athletes say, I'm playing for my family. I want to do good, not only for my team, but I want my family to be able to look up to me. I want my kids to be able to look up to me and say, dad was big shot. You know what I'm saying? So I would kind of go the same route the NBA did, but also implement the families to be able to come.
How do you deal with Philadelphia criticism from fans?
Yeah. Oh man. Uh, they live now, right? The
Say
fans,
what now?
the fans, they live now.
Mm-hmm.
They tell you how it is, but I think as far as me being here for as long as I have, the only way you can deal with the criticism is take it because they're gonna tell you how it is. When you playing good, they gonna cheer you on. They're gonna be the loudest fans in the world. They not gonna let anybody talk bad about you. But that one time you do slip up and you are off your game, they're gonna let you know. And I think as an athlete, you gotta take that with as a grain of salt because you want somebody to be honest with you and tell you like, hey, that wasn't your best. We've seen your best. Now you gotta just step it back up and get back to that.
What's the best and worst about playing in Philly?
The best thing I would say would be the fans. They're when we on, man, they crazy. People don't like coming up here and playing in Lincoln Financial Field. They do not like it. And I would say the worst is me being from the South, born and raised in Dallas, Texas. Is when about mid October, December coming, and that snow start to fall, and it get 20 degrees, 10 degrees. I'm not too big on the cold, man. I tell you that now. I don't like the cold, but I think those are the two for me.
That 214 area code don't like that 215 code.
Nah, man, that cold, man, make your bones stiff.
Carson Wentz, I've seen him do his TV rounds today.
Mhm.
Always knew he was a leader.
Yep.
What's something about him, leadership wise or even athletic wise, that struck you on the field watching him?
Yeah, I can say leadership wise. We can talk about what's going on right now in the world with a lot of this social injustice stuff. You got a guy like Carson Wentz, um, with his type of platform, the guy that he is. He really doesn't have to step up and say anything about this social injustice that's going
Mm-hmm.
on. You know what I'm saying? But nobody can force him, and he's willingly doing that. He is on the social justice team for the Philadelphia Eagles. He's one of the members on there, and I think that shows leadership within itself by him just saying like, I don't know and I don't understand what's going on in the world and why it's going on, but I'm willing to learn and I'm willing to be a part of the change.
How do you feel about your transition to safety?
I think it's gonna be great. We say great. We don't say good. But I feel like it's gonna be great. I played in my last 2 years at LSU, and I think it's just another task for me, another bump in the road that I'm ready for.
How much Malcolm Jenkins tape have you watched? I'm sure you've heard that question a million times.
Yeah. Definitely in the off season, he was a guy that I was watching a lot just because he did everything right. You know what I'm saying? He's been in the league 10 plus years, and he knows little slick, savvy vet things to do. So definitely in the off season, I was watching a lot of his tape for sure.
How do you think the DBs will do without Malcolm Jenkins this year?
I think we're gonna take it up another notch. We had the addition of Darius Slay. We got a guy named Nicole Roby. He's coming in, gonna play the slot for us. And then we got me and Rodney back there. We won a Super Bowl together. So we're all about getting each other better in the competition. So I definitely think this secondary is gonna take it up a notch.
I feel like this is like saying Luca has no jumper or people doubting you. So bear with me.
Yeah.
What have you been working on to avoid getting beat deep?
Oh man, eyes. That's the biggest thing for anybody who plays in the secondary, from elementary right now to the highest level in the NFL. As a secondary guy, you got to have great eyes. That takes you, anywhere, in the secondary. So I think just having great eyes.
What is it like going against all that speed in practice?
It's exhausting. It's exhausting, but at the same time, a lot of guys in the league don't get to go up against that type of competition. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? We got Deshaun Jackson. We just got the new rookie, Jalen Rieger. We got a couple other rookies. We got Hightower. He's a Blazer. So we got a couple guys out there definitely pushing us to the limits, but it's definitely good for us.
I think if this career in playing defense for the Eagles doesn't work, I think you may have a career in broadcasting because you actually segued into my next question. I was going to ask you what you thought about Jalen,
Uh-huh.
take, as well as John Hightower and Quez Watkins, the three rookie wide receivers for the Eagles. What stands out to you about them?
I'll start with Jalen first. He's a young guy who's first round pick, and you see and you hear all over the league these first round guys. They come in, they hot shot, they think they got it all made and understood, but he's the totally opposite. He's a guy who's coming in, and he's willing to learn. He's listening. He's always willing to get better. Even for me, I've seen. I think in our first padded practice, um, the way he was catching the ball and falling to the ground, I kind of told him like, "Hey, watch when you catching the ball and falling to the ground." I've seen guys, hurt their arms, hurt their shoulders like that. Practice on rolling when you catching the ball, and you see him the very next practice live practice, and he's catching the ball doing the same thing, and he's avoiding that same contact that he was doing in practice before. So that just lets you know that he's taking everything in, and that's what you want to see. And I go back to Hightower and Watkins, and I mean they're burners. You know what I'm saying? They're guys who are stretching the field for us, and Carson's definitely looking for them when they're in, because he's knowing that they can get deep at any time.
Tell me something.
Yep.
Word on the street is Jim Schwartz is that dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you like about him?
His swagger, man. Schwartz is a guy who he's aggressive with his defensive calling. But at the same time, what a lot of people don't see is him on game day. He's gonna be designer down. He's gonna have his Ferragamo shoes on, his Ferragamo belt, his Burberry, his Burberry jacket on. And he gonna let his Louis Vuitton shades. He gonna let you know what I'm saying. He got swag too, and you want a guy like that, you know what I'm saying, leading your defense.
I'm curious to know
Yep.
LSU
Uh-huh.
on a scale of 1 to 10. How excited were you when they won?
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 million. Come on now. It's forever LSU, man. That's just what it is, man. It's a fraternity.
No, that's real. It's a
Yeah.
what Jay Z said. It's a secret society. All we ask is trust.
Come on now. Come on now.
um, I think it's interesting that the NFL and the NBA and the NBA and Major League Baseball are all on the same page with just rioting, social justice, and more. I'm curious to know from your perspective as an NFL player. I'm usually profiling NBA guys, so I don't talk to as many NFL guys as I do NBA. But from your perspective, how do you feel the NFL is doing as far as COVID safety in the locker room and at large? How do you think the NFL is handling it?
Oh man, phenomenal. We literally have. I'll break it down to you. Literally have a drive-through testing to where you're not even getting out of your car. And this is before you can even park. You have to drive through, get tested. Once you park your car, it's a single entrance. We walk through the same entrance each and every day. You have to have your mask on. Once you go in through that entrance, we have a computer scanner which checks your temperature. We have a questionnaire we have to fill out each and every morning, ask
Mhm.
different questions as if um, have you come in contact with anybody who may have symptoms of COVID the past 10 days? And different questions like that. And once we're in the building, we have a tracker that we have to wear that lets, not only the team, but the health staff know anybody that you're coming in close contact with in the building for more than 10 seconds, your blinker it actually starts blinking red to let you know that, you need to separate. In our meetings, we're 6 feet apart. Masks throughout the whole day. Only time we don't wear masks is when we're actually on the field. I mean, so they're definitely taking all the right protocols and making sure that not only us as players, we want to feel mentally that we're safe. So they're definitely taking all the right protocols.
I'm going to do a basketball football matchup. I'm interested to know.
Okay.
Kyrie Irving got ridiculed for not going to the bubble. And a lot of people said, let your disrespect be as loud as your apology. You being a football player, you knowing just the whole Colin Kaepernick debacle, do you
Yeah.
think that the Colin Kaepernick Kyrie Irving comparison is a fair comparison?
Um, as far as the backlash that they got, definitely because you had reporters, you had players, whether they were active players or retired players, both bash both of them for standing on something that they believed in. And at the end of the day, you see as time out what they say, what was done in the dark comes to the light. Time will always reveal itself, and you see down the line what they seen the bigger picture. They saw the bigger picture, and it came to light for sure.
Would you like to see Cat play again?
I mean, why not? If this is a game that any athlete that you always wanted to play since you were a young kid, why not give him another shot, see what he got for sure.
Two more questions. Number
Uh-huh.
one, are you keeping the green hair? You kind of you look, with all due respect,
Yeah,
when I see it, it makes me think of a USC Trojan or
yeah.
the character from Looney
Oh,
Tunes.
yeah. I got you. Yeah, man. I'm the Green Goblin now. I'm the Green Goblin. That's what they call me. So I'm here to stay. Green's here to stay.
How do you feel about being drafted into the league and competing for a backup corner role to now being the starting safety of the Philadelphia Eagles? Because I think that's significant. You bring a lot of sheds to, or a lot of tools to shed. That's
Yeah.
like it started from the bottom. Now you hear a story. How does that make you feel?
Oh man, definitely. It is an accomplishment. I don't feel accomplished yet. Just for the simple fact that it's always more work to be done. It's always more championships to be won. But definitely feel accomplished and focused at the same time because, like you said, I played corner. My first 4 years with the Eagles, won the Super Bowl. But now, why not be a Super Bowl champion for the Philadelphia Eagles at safety? You know what I'm saying? Why not? Why not do that? You know what I'm saying? At a new position and show everybody that I can win it at both positions.
You said what you said,
Yep. Yep.
brother. Thank you for your time,
I appreciate you.
my man. I'll be talking to you soon,
Thank you, man.
my man. Later.
Got you.
We're out.